Chat, chit, chat, chit, chat, chit, chat.
Hey everyone, welcome to Marketing Minutes.
Hey!
Episode 1264. Just kidding.
Is that?
We're so far away. Our hope is that in 20 minutes or less, we can help you clarify your message, grow your brand, and move your business forward one smart decision at a time.
That's right.
Today I want to talk a little bit about empathy and authority when it comes to your marketing. I think the first question is why do businesses feel so much pressure to talk about themselves first?
I think that sometimes businesses feel pressure to talk about themselves because they know they have all of the information. They know how big the hurdle is. They know what it takes to solve the hurdle. Whatever this pain point is, they understand maybe how intense it could be, and maybe they've gone to school for a really long time to solve that. And so because they're just in it all day, every day, it's just an easy thing to talk about because it's easy to forget that people aren't thinking about it in the same kind of way we are, So in our world, we think about marketing and websites and video and stuff all the time. So there's a way that we could talk about it that keeps people on the outside of it because it's kind of exclusionary, or we talk about it in a kind of way with some jargon and things that isn't easy to understand. But the people that are just on the outside of this, that kind of engage with this only when this pain point, my communication isn't working or something, when they are just engaging with it for the first time, they don't have all of the language, they don't have all the lingo, they don't really understand as much about it as we do because it's not their world. And that's true in every single industry. Think of a doctor. A doctor has gone to school forever to understand this one specific thing. There's med school and there's residency and specialty stuff, and they think about this specific thing all the time. Most people don't think about that thing ever until some percentage of those people need that thing. And then they show up to a person that has all the information. And I think we all are aware of when you show up somewhere and people kind of communicate to you rather than with you, they kind of communicate to you in a way that is hard to understand. What that kind of feels like. And businesses do that all the time. They talk about it from their seat with all the knowledge and forget that people who are on the outside looking in really don't understand it at all.
So they double down on the authority and expert piece.
That's exactly
then
right.
Leave out the empathy.
The empathy, So in marketing, we always tell people to think about what's your empathy statement and what's your authority statement. The empathy is really a why. It's helping people understand why you care about them. I think it was Teddy Roosevelt who said, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. It's that kind of idea in marketing as well. If you just lead with, here's all of our 5-star reviews, and we have these kinds of accolades and these kinds of certificates and all this stuff, it can just sound like white noise to someone. But if you lead with, because we care about you, because we understand how hard it is to do X, Y, and Z, that's why we have done this kind of schooling and we've sought these kinds of things. But if you don't lead with that, we care about you kind of language, if you don't help people along the journey to understand that you really do care about them, they will never care about your accolades because it doesn't mean anything to them because they don't spend time thinking about our specific worlds in the same kind of way.
So if a business owner was listening right now and they thought to themselves, but my story is really interesting, what would you say to them?
It's not. It's not. Your story isn't that interesting. The story of your consumer is really, really interesting. And just personally, on a one-on-one level, I love sitting down and talking to, this is our podcast spot, right? We sit here and I talk to people.
You ask businesses about their story.
And I love it. I absolutely love it because I'm interested in that. And there is for sure a kind of person that is interested in that, but that is not high-level marketing stuff. That's hey, we want to get deep into the nit and gritty about how you started and what that looked like for you, but that isn't great marketing copy. And so, it's a thing that we as business owners, it's an easy mistake to make, that we just talk about ourselves a lot. Another thing I try to tell myself is be interested, not interesting. Just in general, when you show up to a networking thing, or you're meeting someone new, ask them questions about themselves. Be interested in what they do. And even if you don't think necessarily that their work or job or anything is necessarily interesting, they're human beings. They're real human beings, and their lives are interesting. There are things about them that are very interesting. And we kind of honor people. We honor their journey when we kind of approach them and their story first, and then we let our story be a guide that helps them get to the end better in some specific area that maybe we have some sort of mastery or expertise or something. But lead with their story, not with your story.
Nice. So let's get real practical here, just so it's helpful. I'm someone who needs my house painted, and I'm looking at hiring Acme Painting.
Yeah.
What kind of language is Acme Painting using to help me understand that they care more about me and how I feel and why I want this house painted, as opposed to like Acme Painting is actually a really good painting company, and they've won
5-star reviews and all the accolades. I would say that understanding the pain point of why someone shows up to your brand is really, really important.
Okay.
I would say that a mistake that Acme Painting Company could make, some Acme is just some
rando
made up name, but Acme Painting, if what they try to sell is good paint jobs on houses that are chipped and flaking and whatever, they will sell maybe a certain amount. But if they understand that the motivation for people to get their house painted is actually much more important.
Okay.
And that motivation could be embarrassment. If you live in a neighborhood and everyone takes care of their yards and everybody takes care of their houses, and you have the ugly house on the block, the paint is old and ugly and it's chipping, and maybe you haven't really cared for your lawn, there is an amount of an embarrassment that people could feel in that way. Now, from a personal level, I might tell them, like, don't put your worth in that thing. But we make decisions based on how we feel about things. So in marketing, a mistake that people make is they try to sell solutions to external problems. But as consumers, we buy solutions to internal problems. I don't need just a paint job on my house. I need to not feel embarrassed when people come to my house because of the chipped paint. And so I would say that a mistake that maybe people make is they just talk about the external problem when really people are looking for internal solutions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Anything else about empathy or authority?
Yeah, I would say just start looking for it in marketing. And one of the things that I've said before, I'll say it again, I think healthcare does this a lot because there's so much education needed in healthcare. You can really, really get kind of really specific about the thing that you do. Why do hospitals keep telling us about their MRI machines? That's this little sentence that I have said a million times. I don't care about your MRI machine. And the reason I don't care about it is because I don't understand it. When you tell me the parts per million or the microns or neutrons, see, I'm an idiot. I don't know what it is, right? But when people lead with that kind of language, it doesn't mean anything to me. I also assume for you that you have all the machines and all the tools to do your job well. I'm not sitting there thinking, I sure hope that clinic that I go to has the right tool to care for me. What I am thinking is, I hope that when that doctor slides the chair close and says, I'm so sorry, the tests have come back with X, Y, and Z, I'm hoping that there's a human being on the other side of that news, and that the care inside of healthcare is real. And that's not just in healthcare, but every sort of business does this. This was something that Apple actually is kind of famous for. When smartphones were new and largely kind of that industry was kind of created by Apple, there was this like race for who could have the best camera. And it was all about megapixels and sensor size and all of this stuff. And the problem is nobody knows what a megapixel is. I have been a professional photographer for, I think, over 20 years now. And I can give you some sort of loose kind of thing about megapixels, but I really don't, I don't have a great understanding. I know what a good picture is, I know how to take a good picture, but like the actual specifics of the technology, it's not, I don't know that. And so Apple had this realization that we could keep chasing all of this language around megapixels and stuff, but nobody actually cares. What people actually care about, the pain point that they actually feel is, can I take a nice picture with this camera, and can I use it in any sort of meaningful way? Can I print it? Could I put that on my wall? And this was for the iPhone 6. I think my phone now is like an iPhone 800 or something. I don't even know the number, but this is a long time ago. And I was actually doing a lot of traveling.
Higher than the number of podcasts we have.
Higher than the number of podcasts. Way higher than the number of podcasts we have. And I was traveling a lot. I was in Asia for like 2 months, bouncing around.
Yeah.
And this campaign was everywhere. It was, I mean, in every single airport, in every single major city, they were running this incredible ad. It was just a billboard, huge, giant billboard. And then the only language was shot on an iPhone 6. They completely eradicated any of the language around megapixels or any of that thing.
Yeah.
You could see with your eyes that that's a nice photo.
Yeah.
And then they were sneaking in this other answer to the question, but can I do anything meaningful with it? Well, that's on a billboard.
Yeah.
A giant billboard
Yeah.
in Times Square or in Tokyo or wherever,
Yeah.
right? And I don't have a wall that big at my house. I need 8 by 10s. You know, I need maybe an 11 by 14 or something crazy.
Right.
And they just erased all of that language.
Right.
And so they realized the authority around this specific thing,
Yeah.
these numbers, it doesn't actually mean anything to anybody. So what's the thing that's actually behind the numbers?
Yeah.
And let's give them the answer to that thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll take it from Teddy. They don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's right.
If that was from Teddy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
He'd also have you ride a horse and like
Yeah.
head out west.
Right.
Go experience the mountains.
The wilderness.
That's right. Thanks, Teddy.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
See you, everybody.